As TVET colleges, our first point of existence is to educate and capacitate the young people who come into our institutions for them to be able to learn and leave with the relevant skills. But we can't allow it to only be theoretic, in nature. That these young people should not just be thinking about, being employees or getting a job when they leave school, but they can be the ones to create jobs in the future.
Welcome everybody, this is SA Science Spotlight and this is Penny, and you already know that we are still at the event, still trying to get more insight on the experts that came through today. And one of the experts that were part of the program is a special lady who is a TVET College Council Vice Chancellor. So for anybody who knows, that is a very, very important seat. And her name is Mrs. Morongwa Mdletshe. Welcome to the podcast.
Nice for you to have me here, Penny. But just a correction, Vice-Chairperson of the Sedibeng TVET Council.
Yes.
Before the chancellors around the country
Okay.
boycott.
We have that on record, okay? Thank you for joining us. And I was sitting there listening to the panel discussion, and I think you guys made very important points that came through. But in relation to portfolio, and since this is a Youth Day event and it's particularly curated around the youth, what do you think, especially for youth who are in TVET colleges, what is the relationship or the collaboration between industry and educational institutions in shaping the relevant skills of young people?
Remember, as TVET colleges, our first point of existence is to educate and capacitate the young people who come into our institutions for them to be able to learn and leave with the relevant skills. But we can't allow it to only be theoretic, in nature. So that's where the industry linkages and industry partnerships come through. And they're quite critical to ensure that young people get workplace experience and they're able to get practical knowledge with regards to how the day-to-day industry operates, and for them to be able to, make meaningful impact through their practical onboarding through the industry partnerships.
Yeah.
For example, when they get placed in an institution such as a bus company like E013, they're able to leave there with tangible skills they can fix. They can work on a bus, any bus in the country. So those are where the linkages come into play.
Yes. Oh, no, that's nice. And it's such a critical point that you are making. But outside of the young people acquiring the skills, there are other young people who are saying, we don't just want to acquire the skills, but we want to be innovative. So what message do you have for young people out there who feel like the traditional educational pathway does not necessarily serve their ambitions of being innovators in the educational space?
It's very rare to come across, a young person who has not at least had a foundation in the educational stream. So firstly, I'd like to say that innovation and traditional education is not necessarily mutually exclusive. Once you have the fundamental, foundation of some of the technical things that you get at the institutions of learning, they help you in being able to build those applications, in being able to shake up the systems by developing the code, by building a system that no one ever did before. So you get those foundational from the education system. So it works very well together. At Sedibeng, we believe in a culture of ensuring that not only do we give young people that background or that education, but we also give them the opportunity through the World Skills Competition to go out there and do their best in that skill and compete alongside the greatest in the world.
That's amazing, and which really leads me to my next question, that how are TVET colleges sort of like fostering scientific and technological innovations amongst young people?
Well, okay, we won't go into the debate of what is science and what is not science,
Yeah.
but safe to say that one of the learning programs that we have, some of the learning programs at the top of my head is robotics that we offer at our institution. We offer mechatronics as well as civil engineering, electrical, and the different types of scientific engineering type of schooling,
Yeah.
but that links with what the market requires, what industry requires, and what innovation brings forth,
Yeah.
because our young people not only get the founding, the foundational learnings, but they get to practicalize it as part of their learning system.
No, that is interesting because we personally feel like a lot of the young people almost feel as if the traditional pathway of learning is exclusive to like the innovations that they're bringing, and also integrating that with getting the skills, fostering entrepreneurs within like the educational sector. How do you think TVET colleges is empowering young people to divert or to go into the entrepreneurial sector? Because a lot of them often come for skill acquisition, but then how do they then now translate that and further turn that into businesses that they can sustain outside of the institutions?
What we have done very uniquely is to develop, as part of the curriculum, at least to have a month during the year where young people are able to get entrepreneurial knowledge. We've also partnered with various organizations, both in government and in private sector, to capacitate young people with regards to their entrepreneurship skills. Because for us, we feel that these young people should not just be thinking about, being employees or getting a job when they leave school, but they can be the ones to create jobs in the future. Some of our phenomenal artisans are, self-sustaining businesses, and they are hiring people out there. So it's part of a very critical part of our day-to-day learning experience at Sedibeng.
Oh man, I can see from what you're saying that it is a whole entire a system that cannot coexist as individual entities. And that is amazing. So I want to understand that you coming through to this event, and I know you're probably invited, but outside of the invitation, what is it that felt to you personally that you had to honor the invitation to come to this particular event out of everything else that was happening today?
Offset, we joked about how I'm a recent graduate of the youth bracket, very recent.
Yeah.
So I'm a beneficiary of a lot of discussions like the Innovators Roundtable. They have uplifted me, educated me, impacted me, and transformed my life. I think as a young girl from Zanin, I would do anything to attend an event like this just to get a little bit of extra knowledge.
Yes, yes.
So now that I'm part of the value chain, I say to myself, I dare myself from time to time to give back,
Yeah.
to give back the information, to give back the opportunities, and to share what I know with others and build more platforms like these for young people to be able to benefit from.
Oh my gosh, we valued all the amount of experience that you've gotten along the
Thank
years
you.
and coming here to share on the event, and as well as with everybody else who's watching the podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. All right.